I've been sort of struggling over the past couple months with some like body dysmorphia, body image issues. I had so many people impact me so negatively.
All it takes is like someone saying one thing that just strikes a chord in you to be like, I'm actually the ugliest person that ever exists.
A few years ago, I was standing in a store waiting for the rain to stop when this woman walked past me. And she was just striking, you know, magically beautiful, incredibly magnetic. Not because of anything specific, just like impossible to ignore, you know? And I kept staring at her, like I was under some spell. And I kept telling myself, you cannot stare at people like this, it's impolite, it's rude. But I just couldn't look away, no matter how much I tried, okay? So I started doing something strange. I started studying her. I was trying to figure out what exactly made her so beautiful. And when I looked closely, I realized that there was nothing special to point to. She didn't have any perfect features. She didn't have any conventional beauty markers. Every detail on its own was completely normal, almost even average. And that's when it hit me. If beauty doesn't come from features themselves, where does it come from? And that question stayed with me, and I didn't have an answer for a long time. If you've ever felt ugly, stupid, or just uncomfortable in your own body, it probably didn't start with how you look. That feeling usually shows up much earlier than that, before you even know what beauty is supposed to look like. At some point in your life, you probably looked at yourself in the mirror and thought, I'm ugly. No one teaches you that the moment like this matters. Nobody tells you that a thought like that doesn't just pass, it stays with you. You keep living, and only later do you realize what this thought has been doing to you. That's when prism forms, a lens. And from that moment on, you don't just see your face through it, you see your whole life through it. How people look at you, how you speak, how you feel around others. Self-image works exactly like a prism. It doesn't change reality, it bends it. And it bends how you interpret everything that happens to you. You think the problem is how you look, yeah? It's not. The problem is the filter that you're looking through. Because the truth is, nobody's judging your looks the way you think they are. Seriously, nobody does that. The only people who really assess your appearance are potential partners and maybe even competitors. But that's it. Everybody else is just living inside their own head. They're worried about their own body, they're worried about their own insecurities, and nobody really walks around analyzing your face. But if you believe that you're ugly, people will still feel it. Not because they suddenly start to notice your nose, your body, or your skin, but because of how you behave. You become awkward. You don't know what to do with your arms. You avoid eye contact. You try to hide your face all the time. And people don't judge you based on how you look. They judge you based on how you carry yourself. Okay? So then your mind says, see, I knew it. They can tell that I'm ugly. But that's not true. They're not reacting to your looks. They're reacting to your self-image, to what you're projecting. This is what really matters, okay? The prism you're looking through is not real. It feels real, but it isn't. It's so exaggerated because your attention always goes first to the things that you don't like about yourself. Other people don't zoom in on your flaws, only you do. You were born with certain qualities, yeah? Some you like. Some you labeled as unattractive, embarrassing, or even wrong. And the ones you don't like are the ones that you constantly monitor. You're aware of them all the time. And you're careful because you don't want anyone to notice, right? That constant attention is what builds the prism. And once that prism exists, it doesn't stop with you. This is where projections begin. When you meet someone who has the same qualities you don't like about yourself, you see them through this same lens. You judge them, you feel irritated, without even knowing why. This is projection, okay? It's your subconscious mind taking what you don't like about yourself and seeing it out there. This is why we also always criticize others for the things that we don't like about ourselves. And once you understand this, you will also see something else happen. You will start noticing when other people project onto you. When someone is aggressively blaming you for something that you obviously didn't do, something that clearly belongs to them, you can relax, okay? Because this is not about you, it's about them. They're projecting something they don't like or insecure about. And people keep projecting even when on some level they know they're doing it because it's important for them, okay? If someone constantly projects insecurity about like appearance, status, intelligence, success onto you, it means that this subject holds excessive importance in their mind. And let's get just one thing straight once and for all, okay? There is no such thing as ugly. You can have an unusual appearance, you can be non-standard, you can look different, but different doesn't mean ugly. Nothing ever makes you ugly except for your own projection, your own labeling, your decision that this matters so much. Let me give you a real example. Look at this guy. His name is Henry de Lautrec. As a child, he broke both his legs. They never healed properly, and he grew up physically disabled. His body looked very different from other men, and for a long time, he hated himself for it. He was deeply insecure, and he felt disgust towards his own body. And then at some point, he just stopped caring. He removed the importance. He stopped fighting his appearance, and he stopped trying to hide it or fix it. And when that happened, his projection dissolved. He focused on his talent, he put himself into art, and he became wildly successful. He became one of the founders of Moulin Rouge. He was famous and admired, and yes, women loved him. Not because his body changed, but because his self-image did. Luck seemed to smile at him, but it wasn't luck, it was the removal of importance. Projections and insecurities are created when you put excessive importance on what do you think other people might think of you. And let me tell you what they're thinking about you, okay? Nothing. Seriously, nothing. Everyone is so consumed with their own insecurities, their own projections, inner noise, that they have little to no mental space left for you, okay? Everything you think they're thinking about you is just your imagination trying to predict the unknown, okay? And when your mind doesn't know, train it to choose a positive prediction, okay? Now, let me tell you my own story. Growing up, I had a genetic stutter. For most of my life, I was deeply insecure about it. I avoided speaking. I was terrified people would notice. Even though I knew it was beyond my control, I punished myself every day for it. And one day, I just got tired, you know? I genuinely said, whatever. If people keep laughing and calling me names for it, I don't care. It's beyond my control. I cannot keep beating myself up for something that is beyond my control, right? If people hear it, it's okay. It's fine, you know, I don't care. I'm just done being a victim. I suffered enough already. And then something weird happened. When I stopped caring about how I sounded, I stopped monitoring my speech so much. My attention moved from how I was speaking to what I was saying. And that stutter just disappeared. Not overnight, of course, but like naturally over time. And that's all because it lost importance, okay? This is how it works. If you hate your weight, you will just keep getting bigger. If you think you're ugly, you will see evidence of it every single day wherever you go. If you obsess over your teeth, they'll just keep getting more crooked and you will keep noticing every single detail. It will continue until you remove it from the pedestal. Once importance is gone, the negative projection loses its structure and dissolves. The major fact is that a positive projection works just as good and just as powerfully as the negative one. So think of yourself in the best possible way, and others will respond accordingly, okay? So what do you actually need to do? Here's the course of action for you. Stand in front of the mirror. Look at yourself. Think about all the things that you've convinced yourself you don't like. Okay? Look at them directly. Don't avoid anything. Be brutally honest. And once you do that, take all these negative thoughts and throw it away. It's garbage. We don't need it, okay? Don't fight your negative thoughts. Fighting just gives them more energy. Instead, remove the structure from underneath them. And that structure is importance and attention. Take your attention away and redirect it. Not by hiding your negative traits, but by accentuating your positive ones. Let's say if you're insecure about your weight, don't try to hide it. Don't wear baggy clothes. Forget about it. Shift your attention to something that you genuinely like about yourself. Like your eyes, your hair, or your voice, your presence, it doesn't matter. And that's it, okay? Nothing complicated. Now, imagine yourself the way you want to be seen. And this is not delusion, by the way, this is conscious reprogramming. Delusion was actually trying to pretend that your insecurities didn't exist while trying to hide them. So, create a self-image where you look and feel your best. And love that version of yourself, okay? Imagine yourself as magnetic, attractive, alluring. Imagine how you walk, imagine how you talk, imagine how people respond to you and how compliments come naturally. Do it often, okay? Even if you don't believe it yet, still keep doing it. Your subconscious mind responds to repetition more than logic. Over time, your behavior is going to adjust, your body language is going to shift. The circumstances in real life will follow. And eventually, this new self-image is gonna stop being or feeling new and it's going to become you. You might feel silly at first. You might think, I don't believe this. How can this work if it's not true? And let me tell you, that's normal, okay? The weird thing would be if you didn't have these thoughts. But here's the truth. It works anyway. It works even if you feel that it's not true. Your mind can resist for a while, but it cannot resist forever. It will accept what you feed it consistently, okay? And it won't happen overnight. It takes time, okay? All you need is just a decision to be who you want to be. Start with what you think is most possible, then raise the bar. And also important thing, so you don't mess it up, don't imagine yourself as someone else you find beautiful. It only strengthens their own self-image. It always has to be you. You with the qualities that you want to embody, okay? If you want to practice it in real life, this actually works the fastest with people you don't know in real life. People that you don't know yet. People who haven't formed a mental image of you yet. So when you're talking to them or when you're meeting new people, hold your new self-image in your mind. Don't analyze whether it's working. Don't think like, do they see it? Do they think what I'm thinking? Do they have the same image I'm holding in my mind? Don't do that, okay? I'm telling you, this works. It worked for me. It worked for everyone else I told this to. Honestly, you don't lose anything by trying. You can use this not only with your appearance, but with your entire life, you know? But we'll talk about that in the next video, okay? So thank you so much for watching, guys. Take care and bye.